Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Devil's Talk. This is Ayuen Aguru here. In today's video, we're going to cover this big raging debate that is going on, and that is, have Manchester United changed, or more specifically, has Ruben Amorim changed his tactic or just merely tweaked them in order to get the best out of the team? Is this current form that we have, is it due to the fact that the players are finally understanding the system, or has Ruben Amorim done the very thing that he said he was never going to do, which is change and adapt his system a little bit to suit some of the best players he got in his team? And we're going to discuss this. First of all, I'm not trying to save face. I am one of the people that wanted Ruben Amorim to be sacked, and I'm still not quite convinced yet. I'm still reserved in terms of saying he has turned things around until I see us win at least 8 games this season. Then I will be converted. But what is making us win now? Is it a tactical change, or is it just mere fact that players are finally understanding the system? And to me, it's a little bit of both, but I lean way more toward the tactical change than it is players understanding what the manager wants. Because for a long time, our biggest concern was our midfield was getting overrun. Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes were not able to play as the two anchors in the midfield by themselves without having proper coverage to fill that midfield up. That was one of the major concerns. The other concern was the wingback were not providing proper attacking threat or a proper attacking play compared to now. And the reason why I say a little bit of both is because when it comes to the wingback, that is personnel. That is Ahmad understanding how to play that position better, even though he's a winger. That's Dalo kind of understanding how to play that position a bit better. That part is under players understanding how to play the wingback position. But in order to change our major concern in the team, which was the midfield, Ruben Amorim has completely changed how we approach that midfield. Before this, we played with just lone two, and most of the time just one, because Bruno liked to push forward. And if it's Casemiro and Ugarte, Casemiro like to push forward. Then you leave Bruno, whoever's playing the defensive midfielder role, are all alone in an open space by himself. And the team were exploited that because they would just drop the attacking midfielders into that position, and Casemiro do not know who to pick up because there's multiple players popping in and out of that position. So how did he change to address that position? First of all, he addressed that by dropping the two attacking midfielders that he have, that they're not so high up like they used to anymore. They drop when you don't have the ball, they drop and become the first shield in front of the midfield. So it goes from having 2 in the midfield to 4 in the midfield, or to 3, depending on what time they're dropping. And that creates the numbers in midfield, which is limiting the space where your defensive midfielder don't have to cover a lot of space anymore. And no wonder he's starting to look good, because he's not required to cover so much space like he was before. And look, Casemiro is playing wonderful now. And the second one is telling the defenders, whoever you're covering in the front line, if they drop into midfield, you got to drop with them. Because we're going to play man. The reason why we have 3 in the back, we're going to play man-to-man on their forward. So there's always going to be a spare center back, but the other 2 are covering the forwards. So, for example, in Brighton game, Rutter was being covered by Luke Shaw, and De Ligt was covering Welbeck. So it was those guys' responsibility to make sure if one of them drop to the space that is left behind Casemiro, they'll follow. If one of them drop next to Casemiro, they follow. You know what that was? If that means the fullback, in this case, if it's Luke Shaw that is following, it means Dalot is dropping and still have the numbers in the back, because Dalot is now dropping to be part of the back 3, because Luke Shaw went forward with the target that he's following. The same thing on the other side. If the lid drop with the special falling well back, Euro came into the delay spot and Ahmad tacked in to create the back 3. We still have back 3, but there's no spare player in the middle anymore, because there's a player marking them, and Casemiro is still there, and you still have your three in the midfield, Casemiro, now De Ligt and Bruno. And then on top of having either one of Cunha or Brian Bremo dropping into that midfield, and all of a sudden you just seize all the space there is in the midfield, and there's no overrun or no overloading by an opponent in that midfield. And all of a sudden you're able to win the second balls. You're able to spring quick attack all of a sudden out of nowhere, because you get the numbers to win the ball back, and you get the numbers to push forward from that position. Because let's say we win the ball because Luke Shaw follow his player all the way to the back, and that he win the ball from there. All of a sudden, Bruno is able to make a quick pass to Brian Bremo, who's running through, to Cunha, who's running through, to Sesko, who can hold the ball up. So yes, there has been a lot of systematic change in order to make this team start to win again. And when we talk about system change, people, you need to start differentiating between formation and actual system. You can have the way you play football is your system. How the base in which you carry that system is your formation. How you put your players in to carry out that plan is your formation, but that's not the system you played. That's why you can see so many variations of how each team played, even though sometimes they play with the exact same formation. So you can't tell me Arsenal 4-3-3 is the same thing as Manchester City 4-3-3, or is the same thing with the Bournemouth 4-3-3. Formation-wise, they're the same, but system-wise, they're completely different team on how they approach football. That's what we're talking about when we say system change. We're not asking Ruben Amorim to change three in the back. Just the same way like Crystal Palace played three in the back, but played completely different to us. Just the same way Sunderland will play it three in the back sometime, but they play completely different to us. That is system. Formation can change. So when we talk about what are the changes that Ruben Amorim made, we can clearly see it. We are not building from the back with the slow build like we've seen before, where the ball goes from the goalkeeper between the center backs and occasionally to the fullback, and we end up losing or just lump it long. We are going straight to our center forward or straight forward, and we lose that first header. We get the second ball, and our attack spring from there. And once we get the ball up there, then we can counter press, which is we're very good at. But we got to get the ball to the opponent half and then counter press them if we lose it and win the ball back quickly and be able to spring on and score a lot of goals. That's how a lot of goals came this season, is that we get the ball over there, they lose the ball, play out, and we counter press them. We win it back quickly and we beat them. We go score direct. So the fact that we go in direct is also shown by the numbers, where our possession dropped by 12 to 15%. Our long kick went up to where we are number one in the league right now in long kick from the goalkeeper straight to the center forward. So those are not minor changes. Those are major changes on how Ruben Amorim played football last season and beginning of this season to now. And I'm not mad at it. I'm not angry at it. I want a winning football at the end of the day. And that's what we're getting. So whether you want to believe that he didn't change anything is your prerogative. It's up to you. This is Football Fan Channel. Everything is subjective. You can have your take on it whatsoever. But there's clearly evidence to suggest that he have changed. If you don't want to see it, fine. But at the end of the day, all we want is a winning football. And that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing winning football. Long may it continue. He need to put about 5 more wins before I say he have turned around. Because as far as I'm concerned, this is just the honeymoon period that I was always expecting from Ruben Amorim that didn't get for 9 to 11 months. Thank you guys for watching my channel. This has been Devil's Talk. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave your thought in the comment section below. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.